Hey, grade 11s, just a little follow-up on the brain, and we're going to talk about the peripheral nervous system and sort of the two combinations of that. When we look at the cerebrum, that largest outer part of the brain, it's made up of four parts, kind of the frontal lobe, which would be kind of like your forehead, the parietal lobe on top, the occipital lobe, which is right at the back ridge of your head, and then by your temple, that's where the name kind of comes from, is called the temporal lobe. Each of those lobes has different functioning, like the temporal lobe, a lot of hearing is involved there in processing of information that goes through your ear and through your auditory nerve, etc. Okay, now when we look at the peripheral nervous system, I'm going to show you this little picture quick. Alright, we see here we've got the central nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord, so all the brain all the way down, and we have the peripheral nervous system as anything that is outside of the brain and spinal cord. So there's kind of two groups of systems here. The somatic system relays information to and from the skin, skeletal muscles, and under your conscious control. So if you're going to throw a ball, alright, all those processes would be part of the somatic system. Now the autonomic system, this is stuff that you don't have to think about, right? This stuff that, controls your heart rate, your breathing, all of those things that just happen. They're controlled in the brain, and they're kind of in two opposite systems called the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system. If you remember when we were talking about the heart way back, there were sort of two types of nerves that go to the heart. One was the cardio accelerator nerve that ramps up the speed of your heart rate, and the vagus nerve, right, which slows down your heart rate. One is part of the parasympathetic and one is part of the sympathetic. So they work in opposition to each other. Now when we get outside of the brain and spinal cord, all right, we have this peripheral nervous system. All right, there's 31 pairs of spinal nerves that come off your spinal column or spinal cord, and 12 cranial nerves that come directly out of the brain, like the optic nerve, the auditory nerve. Those are ones you probably know, eyes and ears. And again, just a little bit about this somatic and autonomic nervous system. Again, somatic is sort of conscious control. Autonomic is stuff you don't have to think about. Hormones being secreted, enzymes going into the stomach. All of those things they're just done by the brain without you having to think about it or sort of control it. Okay, have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon.